What's up with it, Sean Breezy? I knew something was wrong with the chat room. I couldn't see nothing. Yeah, we get that bag. Yep, we on the bag chase. You feel me? We on that bag chase. Get that money. Get that moolah. Get that cheddar cheese. Get that Janetto. Every single day, bro. You know, all I'm doing is prepping for old age. That's all I'm really doing. You know, I'm prepping for my 50s, really. You know, so that way when I get to be 50, I won't be broke. Like a joke. It's cold this morning, man. God damn. All they want is 6 foot Chad. And 6 foot Chad, that nigga, he can't. Man, this nigga always comes into the cafe, bro. He cannot stay away from the cafe. That's why we gotta compete with these motherfuckers out here, bro. You gotta understand your position in life. You know what I'm saying? Understand your position and know that you gotta compete with these niggas out here. With money, that's how you compete with these niggas. The 6 foot Chad can't stay away from the cafe. The fuck is he doing, bro? This motherfucker here, I'm like, God damn, nigga, you always here. You can't stay away from this cafe, huh? Fucking dumbass. I'm sorry, bro. I might got the Napoleon complex, but I got my reasons why I got the Napoleon complex. Cause I done had bitches that I like stolen from motherfuckers who are Chad like 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. Around 5'10", 5'9", you can still get women, but it's harder. It's more challenging. Like dudes who are 6 foot, they got easier time getting females. That's the truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. If I was like 6'1", I would have no problem at all struggling. I wouldn't struggle in the dating market as much. But since I'm under 6 foot, I could get discriminated against really easily, and they'd be like, nah, he's not tall enough. 5'9" is not tall enough. So that cuts your women in half. Your flow, your women, your flow of women in half. And then you're getting older too. You're getting to be 45 and shit. You know. And that's weighing against you too. So when you was young and 5'9", then you had your youth to back you up. You know. Yeah, that's like I said. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Chad will always be in the way unless you get some money. Exactly. That's the only way you can compete with Chad and Tyrone is with money, bro. Once you get enough money in your pocket, bro, you can compete with these niggas. And then you can steal their girlfriend from them. That's what I want to do. I want to steal a 6 foot Chad or Tyrone's girlfriend. You feel what I'm saying? Or just take that bitch. Be like, man, this is mine, bro. Get the fuck off of me. You know what I'm saying? See how you like it. To see how you fucking, like I said, man, I done like had women stolen from me by dudes who were 6 foot plus. You feel what I'm saying? These dudes are irritating to even, like, man, I'm just, bruh, it just irritates me, bruh. Especially when 6 foot Chad comes into Starbucks. I'm like, bruh, it irritates me to see you in here, man. It really does. It burns my motherfucking skin, man. You feel what I'm saying? And you can't help it. You can't help it, bro. You can't help it but to be, upset and angry and frustrated, because it's like, yeah, the female that you like, she went with him because he was taller. And you be like, what? It don't make you feel good. You feel what I'm saying? And then you want to break his fucking jaw. You feel what I'm saying? Beat his fucking ass. Tell that motherfucker to stay away from your girl, or you'll stump a motherfucking mud hole in your ass. My ex-girlfriend tripped about my height a little bit too. When we first met, she was like, I usually like men who are taller, but you're taller than me, so, I guess it's okay. I'm like, damn, when I'm supposed to be the exception to the rule or some shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be the exception to the rule. You fucking with me because you find me attractive in the face. That's what it is. You fucking with me because you find me attractive in the face. And I'm just not tall like you like it. You feel what I'm saying? So like I said, man, it's the same thing. Like, I don't really like short women who are 5 foot, but I'll make an exception for shorty pants and little 7, okay? I'll make an exception for her because they're cute in the face, they're attractive. Normally, I don't go for women who are like 6 foot, 5 foot, what am I saying, 6 foot? I normally don't go for women who are 5 foot tall, but since they're attractive, you'll make an exception. See, there's always a exception to the rule, bro. Like the female that I was messing with at that bar, bro. She talking about, I usually like taller men, but she making out with me outside of the bar. You feel what I'm saying? So I guess you got to be that exception to the rule. Be the exception to the rule. Yeah, if we taller than her, it should be okay. But sometimes they don't see it like that. You get rejected based on your height. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was a little bit taller, if I was like at least 5'11", or at least 6 foot, I wouldn't be struggling much right now. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I say the bag will put you at an advantage, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bag will make everything's even the playing field. You know what I'm saying? Now I got the bag, now I can compete with you. You ain't gonna be stealing my woman away from me like you was before, bruh. The first thing I can say, well, okay, yeah, you taller and good looking and better looking than me, but guess what I got, nigga? Check outside, I got that Lamborghini outside. I got more money than you. I'll say it straight to his face. I'll be like, yeah, you taller and stuff, bro. Because sometimes, there'll be a little bit of haterade up in there, you feel what I'm saying? In the bars and stuff. And we be talking and stuff. And all I can say is like, you know what, bruh? You might be taller and maybe younger and more good looking than me, but check outside. I got more money than you. I got that. See that Lamborghini outside? That's mine. Ooh, that would blow your competition away. You just pull up with a Lambo. All the taller men, they wouldn't even exist. They couldn't even compete with you. You got resources. You got the bag. You feel what I'm saying? You got the bag. Yeah. Like that one time, I was sitting there a while back at that bar where I got arrested at. Uh, there was some taller Indian dude, and you know that chick that came up to me and asked me about the lottery. She was like, "So, Kel, what about the lottery?" Right? So yeah, so we was all sitting in a little circle, right? Now there was the taller Indian dude. He was like at least five. He was at least 6 foot plus. He was like 6'2" or something like that. So we all sitting in a circle. We was all talking and stuff, you know. And then I can sense a lot of haterade from him, and he can sense a lot of haterade from me. We both was trying to hate on each other. We were trying to hate on each other, like put salt on each other's game, right? But I was being more sarcastic with it, you know. I was sneak dissing them, right? But yeah. So what I did was I walked up to him while he was talking to the female, right? And I was like, this dude is tall and good looking. Look at him. Mr. Tall and good looking. I walked over. That's what I said, man. I walked over and said, Mr. Tall and good looking, how you doing, bruh? And she was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's what she said, right? I was like, look at he's tall and good looking, ain't he? But when I play the story back in my mind, or the memory back in my mind, I wish I would have had a Lamborghini outside where I could be like, yeah, you tall and good looking, man, but I got more money than you. Check out that Lamborghini outside right now. And she would have checked it out, and I would have won. I would have won that battle. But I lost the battle. She walked off with him. Before the bar had closed or whatever, she walked off with him. And I was sitting there just chilling. And I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? See, you gotta prepare, man. You gotta when you get the bag, you can get any woman you want. Hell yeah, you can, bro. You can steal somebody's girlfriend, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like if there's no room, you can make room. You feel what I'm saying? I steal your woman from you. Biatch. Biatch. You feel what I'm saying? And he could be taller and better looking than everything. See? Now you tall motherfuckers don't feel how I felt when I was getting women stolen from me by you tall ass niggas. Napoleon complex don't come out of nowhere, bro. It comes from like taller men coming around stealing your girls, stealing the woman that you like. That's where the Napoleon complex come from, bro. Yeah, you need the bag. Like, yeah, exactly, bro. You need the bag. Yeah, you do. You feel what I'm saying? Napoleon complex come from dudes coming around and stealing girls that you like. Like, you might have an interest in one chick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She might have an interest in you, right? You're both interested in each other. But then you get intercepted by a taller dude that she met online or she met in person. Or a dude that she met in person or something like that. And he end up taking her, and then, they became an item. And you like, man, that motherfucker, that tall ass motherfucker, man, I can't believe that motherfucker, bro. And you like, you sitting back in the cut like, man, I lost that battle. But if you got money, bro, he ain't stealing shit. Once you got the bag, he ain't gonna steal shit, bro. Yeah, at that time, I needed the bag, bro. You see what I'm saying? So now I know, like, man, get the bag and compete with these dudes out here in these streets. That's the only way you can compete. You can't compete any way else, man. Especially you know what they call it in the incel community, the age pill is catching up to me right now. I'm 45. You know what I'm saying? So it's catching up to me. So right now at this point, when you hit your 30s and your 40s, you need the bag more than ever. Because looks fade, man. We can't do nothing about it. Feel what I'm saying? As we get older, we lose looks. You feel what I'm saying? We lose looks. We can't do nothing about it. It's called nature, man. We get old. And then when we don't have no money, ain't no female gonna check for you, man. That's the scary part right there. You know, that's why dudes get money so they don't have to be alone when they get old. Like that sugar daddy come through, man. He not alone. He got a girlfriend. And he older than me. Dude look like he about 60 or something like that. His woman look like she's in like her 30s or some shit like that. She look about 35. You know, he look like 60. But he not alone. That's the most important thing. He not by himself. He got a woman. That's why I say as you age and when you get older, the bag comes way more important. Like when you young, it's not that important, you know what I mean? But it's still important, but it's not that important. But as soon as you get past 30, it becomes way more important. And then you get past 40, it gets even way more important. You get to be 50, it becomes way more important than ever. You know what I'm saying? So then, because you think you need something to continue to attract women with. You know what I'm saying? You can't lead with your looks your whole entire life, man. Just, you know, eventually they fade. And then see the thing is these women, you older, they pat your pockets down and you ain't got no money. They were like, oh nah, I'm good. And he older, but he ain't got no money. Shit. That's what I'm saying, man. The bag is way more important after you hit a certain age, man. You feel what I'm saying? The bag becomes way more important. And you need it to attract women. And life is hell without money. It is. I can't live without getting the bag. You feel what I'm saying? Like, then once you get the bag, bro, you can compete on every single level with any man out here, bro. It don't matter where you at. You got the bag, bro. You are getting dates. You are getting girlfriends. You are getting sex on the regular. Not just sometimes, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Females will fuck you for a handbag, bro. For a $500 handbag, they'll fuck you for that. That's what they do, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They'll fuck you for a handbag. They'll fuck you for a dress or some expensive shoes. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you get the bag, but then you can compete with these dudes, and they can't hate on you, man. You know, like at the time when we was huddled in that little bar over there, it was me, the girl, and the taller Indian dude, right? If I would have had a bag, she would have stopped talking to him immediately, and she would have been talking to me the whole entire time. He would have been kicked out of the conversation. You feel what I'm saying? I would have won that battle. But since I didn't have the bag at that time, it's the way it is, bro. You know, opportunities close, legs close until you get that bag. I mean, I could get coochie without the bag, but I'm just saying, it makes things a lot easier with women when you got the bag. Meaning that you have access to sex like like more than you want to. You feel what I'm saying? Until you get the bag, you're gonna always struggle. Feel what I'm saying? You're gonna always struggle, and I don't want to continue to struggle my whole entire life. And as I get older, I struggle more. As I get older, I struggle more. When I got past 30, I was like, God damn, it's getting hard to get these panties off. What's going on? you know. But women, they'll still mess with you, man, as an older guy. You just gotta take care of yourself. Keep the body fat percentage low. Get some money. And they'll still fuck with you, man. You know, you're in shape. You look good for your age and shit like that. You still get young women that'll fuck with you, bro. It gets harder every year that goes by, bro. Just remember that. You know, it gets harder and harder every single year. And the years are flying by quick, bro. We almost halfway through this year already. You see how fast a half a year went by, bro? We coming up on May right now. We almost halfway there. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go inside this cafe. I just hope I don't see 6 foot Chad up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get in here because I gotta get me something to eat. You know, or maybe get a coffee drink or something. But you guys have a good day. I'll be back on later and shit, man. Peace out, take care, and bless. I'm out.